Good evening, Gills fans. Welcome back to the latest episode of Gills in the Blood TV. It's Wednesday night, which of course means it's one thing. It is match preview showtime, and it's another long trip for Gareth Ainsworth's men. This Saturday, we travel up to the north of England to take on Oldham Athletic at Boundary Park for the first time in what feels like forever. Gills are in good form, Oldham not so much. But first of all, I'm pleased to say I'm not joined by just one guest tonight, but I'm joined by two. We have Kerry Rimmer. She is an Oldham Athletic season ticket holder. Put your teeth back in, Matthew. And she is also the Her Game 2 ambassador for the football club. And I'm also joined by her son, Callum, who has been to a lot of the games this season. He's an avid Latics fan as well. So thank you both for joining me. Welcome to the channel, first and foremost.
Yeah, thank you for having
Thanks
us.
for having us.
No problem at all. Right. Best pass to start is recent 5 games. It's the only games that we can go off in the league so far this season. It's 4 points from 15 for the Latics so far. That's come in the way of 4 draws against MK Dons, Colchester, Bristol Rovers and Fleetwood. 2 of them 0-0 and 2 of them 1-1. The only defeat came in a game against Swindon Town, where I think it's fair to say you probably deserve something. Callum, I'll come to you first. You sit 18th at the moment, only 4 points from them 5 games. But have there been signs of encouragement in the performances?
Yeah, they have. Yeah, I'm proud of what Oldham have achieved
Okay.
because not only a few years ago we've faced difficult times, previous owners, and massive downfall, but now we're better than ever. We've got a whole complete new squad. We've got a lot of improvement. Like, of course, any team has a lot of improvement early start, but I reckon more as season progress, I reckon we'll be mid-table probably.
Well, I predicted you 9th in my pre-season predictions, and I got a lot of flack off of Barnet fans because I had you above Barnet. So there was a lot of, we are the champions. We finished 34 points above them last season. I just think your team's more suited to League Two football, and I've said this on a couple of episodes. You play a certain way. Mickey Mellon plays a certain way. It's fairly robust. It's fairly direct. I think that suits League Two. I think Barnet play a way that's more expansive, but can be really good when you get it right. And in fairness to them, they've got it right in their last 2 games. But before then, they were making loads of mistakes, and it was costing them goals, costing them points. But no, I think in terms of the 2 promoted sides, both sides would be absolutely fine. Kerry, I'm going to come to you now. You went to the Fleetwood game at the weekend. What did you make of the performance?
It's difficult. I feel like there was lots of improvement. I feel like we could have utilised more of the opportunities that we had. I feel we started in a 4-4-2. Look at me getting all technical. A 4-4-2 formation. Callum will be really impressed that I actually know that. We're playing a lot of hoofball at the minute. We've got 2 quite, prominent strikers in Quigley and Fondop, and I know what we're trying to do. We're trying to get the ball up there. We're trying to get them to, then utilise their opportunities. First 20 minutes of the game was quite slow, and I think that's been consistent through the last 5 games anyway. I think we're trying to find our feet in the first 20 minutes. But there was some promising form, and that once we got the ball on the ground and we're getting a bit of pace, it looks quite good. And I definitely would say out of the 5 games that I've watched, the Fleetwood was the better of the 5, if I'm being honest, which was quite nice. We just didn't get the points on the board, which is disappointing, unfortunately. I enjoyed it though. I did enjoy it. I'm not going to lie. I enjoyed seeing Norwood, as everybody will know.
Of course, yeah, because obviously played a big part last season, didn't he, in the promotion?
Yeah, massively, and it was nice to see him again. He got a lot of boos from the crowd, and obviously he's got a mixed bag at the moment because people still love him and people hate him, and it's difficult. I'm just so glad that he didn't score against us. If I'm being really honest, I don't know where my loyalty would have led at that point. 22 shots on target. We scored 1, which is a bit disappointing, and I think that's where we need to improve. Really, is getting the goals in the net, which every team will probably say at this moment in time. But 5 games in, like Callum said quite rightly, improvements can happen. They will happen. We've got a lot of our signings are injured at the moment, so I think we're still trying to find our feet, unfortunately. But room for improvement, and I'm little miss positivity, so I think we'll get there. I know you've said 9th, and I think early on I would have been top 10, but I'm gonna go mid-table. I'm gonna play it safe, and as long as we stay up in League Two, that's all that matters really for me at the moment.
Callum's nodding his head, so I'll come back to you, Callum. Is anything above the bottom two a good season, or aspirations a little bit higher? I don't think either side, like I said, you or Barnet, will be in any danger. But where did you see Oldham finishing before a ball was kicked, and have anything changed your mind having seen the first 5 games? It's a very small percentage of the season, isn't it?
Yeah. So not everyone. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Because I'm a very optimistic person. Like last season, National League, I was like, yeah, we're going to be champions, and we finished, I think 5th it was. Even though we still got promotion, I've still got that feeling we're going to come up as champions at Wembley. And after seeing these recent games, you can see these, like my mum said, we've got a lot of injuries. Like we have someone called Tom Pett and Kai Payne, very important in our midfield, especially with Pett being very big and significant last season. Especially like been playing the ball with Tom Conlon and other midfielders. But I don't think we'll be going down this season. No. Like I reckon there's worse teams than us. I'm not going to name any teams, but there's going to be some teams who are much worse than us. But I don't think we're going to be in a relegation battle either. I reckon it's going to be a nice, easy season for us by just staying in mid-table. I won't say it's easy enough to go back to back Wembley, but easy enough to stay.
Nice, wasn't it?
But a season of consolidation is improvement again, isn't it? You've not been in the Football League for a few years now, so to come up and stay up has got to be the aim, hasn't it, first and foremost? And then I assume anything else, Kerry, would be just a bit of a bonus.
Yeah, I mean, I think settle down. Like we're all on the high from Wembley still, and I think we're riding the wave. And I think a lot of us have gone in really positive into the season and sort of been met with the first 5 games, like you said. The only one that we've lost is against Swindon. But I think we thought that we would go in and we'd be winning the games because you're on that Wembley high, aren't you? Really, but. Yeah, I think staying in League 2, that would be a successful season. And then it's about building the team. It's about looking at what we've got, what we need, where we need to go and evaluate it towards the end of the season. But yeah, I would say a successful season for Oldham would be staying in League 2 for next season.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think that's a really good way to approach it. One thing that's concerning, I think, but also is a positive, if you can flip it the other way, is that the fact that you've conceded the first goal, I think, in every game. But in 2 of them, you've come back and managed to get draws against Fleetwood and Colchester.
Yeah.
And then I think you threatened to get back on level terms against Swindon as well, even though you gave them a 2-goal head start. Kerry, I'll come to you with the first part of the question. How concerning is it? You've already mentioned slow starts, 20 minutes in, you're sort of struggling to sort of make an impression on the game. So how concerning is it that in 3 of them 5 games you have conceded the first goal?
See, I'm going to go back to the playoffs, and I'm going to say, we conceded goals in the playoffs against Halifax and York, and we then come back. Oldham are notorious for it. We seem to let the first goals in, and then we come back and we score and we draw and we win. I would like to see us probably a little bit more defensive and not letting those goals in and not being a bit sloppy in defence. However, I would also like to see us scoring the goals first. I think any Oldham Athletic fan would be, because it always feels like we're chasing at that point, and I suppose no team wants to continually chase. I wouldn't say I'm concerned yet. I would say if we were 10, 15 games into the season and we were conceding the goals majority of the times within the first half, I'd be worried. I'd like us to see a bit more of pace in the first 20 minutes and really taking those opportunities to get those early goals, because I think that would give the team morale, that would give the fans morale, and it would show that we're making progress. So I'm not concerned yet, Matt, but watch this space. You never know. Let's see you on Saturday against Gillingham. Hopefully we don't concede in the first 20 minutes. But I also think we've let in really sloppy goals as well, like the goal against Fleetwood that we let in for Fleetwood. That was a real opportunistic, sloppy goal from Ched Evans. And it's like, I think that's what's frustrating. They're not good goals going in. Some of them are spectacular, don't get me wrong, but I wouldn't say any of the goals have been like, fantastic. There was no stopping that. If we'd have been more defensive and we'd had bodies in where they should have been and marking our men, we possibly wouldn't have let the goals in.
Fair enough. But Callum, the positive spin on that is that, like we said, there's been real good signs. It's not like you concede the first and then teams have blown you away. You've not lost any games by more than one. That's just that sole defeat against Swindon. And like I say, he was probably the better side second half. So how encouraging is it that even if you have conceded the first goal in games, that you have got this ability to bounce back and stay in football matches and still pick up points, albeit not any wins yet, but a couple of draws and, I want to say, an impressive defeat against Swindon, I suppose, is the best way of putting it.
It shows that we have got the potential to do much better. It's just going at it, to be fair. We were just going week in, week out, and even if it's a draw or 3 points, but it doesn't matter if we're just showing that little bit of improvement, like just passing it more, stop playing hoofball. That even though our attackers are tall for it, in this style of football nowadays, League Two is more physical, more aggressive compared to National League.
Tactical.
So, yes, it's like tactical, yes. More compared to National League, they're not that physical. They're just like semi-pro, in my opinion. They're not as professional as like Oldham now, Fleetwood, Gillingham, Grimsby, and all them. Like it's much more physical league, and that's what you need. Just if you can show those improvements against those big hench people, it'll be just good.
Yeah, I think, and there's a case to say that you're not the first team that's come up from the National League and struggled in terms of you give away chances at this level, you get punished more. And I use Wrexham as an example because Wrexham came up and we know how powerful they are now. They're going to be competing in the Championship this season, it looks like. But I remember their first game in League Two after being promoted, and they conceded 5 at home to MK Dons, and I think they only conceded 7 shots in the game. It's just back to your point about the difference between the National League and the Football League is you can give away 6, 7 chances in the National League. You might concede 1, whereas everyone's a little bit more switched on at this level. So if you give away a multitude of chances are you're going to concede multiple goals. So I think you're learning from that aspect as well. But I want to talk, Kerry, about your squad. And there's loads of experienced people in there, loads of people that have been around the block in terms of the EFL. I'm talking about the likes of Donovan Daniels, who's been there and done it. You've got Manny Mont, you've got Tom Pett when he's fit, you've got Ryan Woods, a good signing. Michael Fondop as well has played at League One level, albeit with limited success. The only concern for me, and I want to ask you whether it's a similar concern, is there seems to be a lot of players that are over 30, which is great for experience, but you keep mentioning you wanted teams to play quicker, certainly in the early stages of games. Is that a concern? And will it become a concern as the season goes on in later stages of games if you've got 2/3 of the side that are over 30 years of age?
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at our ages and lots of experience, like you said. You've got lots of players from the EFL. Ryan Wood, you've mentioned. He's a key player for me this season. I love what he's been doing with the ball. I like that he is good around the pitch. He's making good passes. So with that experience, again, it's like what you're saying. With that experience, he's got that ability to do that, which is good. I do worry that if we rely really heavily just on Ryan Woods to do that, he's going to get knackered by the end of the season. It would be nice. It would be nice to have some younger, sort of fitter players. I say fitter, all the players they're way fitter than me as such, but they're older, you know. Is that experience, is the wear and tear on their bodies, are they going to become more injury prone? I would like to have a squad that, you know, we are interchangeable and we can swap positions without too much sort of damage to the team. I'm yet to see that at this moment in time, but again, like I said really early on in the season, like Callum said, we've got Pett coming back. We've got a couple of injuries. So we've got Stevens out till November. We've got Payne out as well, haven't we?
We've got
hopefully
incoming injuries coming back now as well.
Yeah, so when Kai Payne comes back, he's a young gun, isn't he? I think he's only 20 off the top of my head. So I'm not too worried yet. However, when we've got lots of injuries, I don't think we've got anyone to interchange it at this moment in time. So I'm not too worried. But I suppose in this next week, I probably would like to see maybe some younger players that we can utilise throughout the season, even if it's just to give a couple of them a break every couple of games. But we've got Caprice coming back. I'm very excited for Caprice coming back as well.
Caprice played in the trophy game, didn't he? Tuesday night, played right back, if I remember rightly, against Man City's kids. We won't talk about the result. But Callum, I'm going to come to you on that. There's a name that I've seen on social media, particularly on X in the last couple of days, who's been sort of bandied about as someone who should be given an opportunity, and that's, is it Kean Harrott? Is he injured at the moment? Because he's younger, he's 23, is it, or it's just that he's just biding his time and waiting for his chance?
Kean Harrott is a little bit of a funny one, to be fair. It's because he's got that work rate as most of our other attackers. It's just the way Mickey Mellon plays. It at the start of the half, like start of the game, it doesn't involve three strikers. He likes playing a comfortable two strikers.
Okay.
And he likes Mike Fondop due to he just comes back and helps the midfield out when they're getting over-pressured. Then you got Quigley, who he's a tall lad, 6'4", and he receives those high balls. Compared to Harrott, he's not as tall as them both, but as well, he likes playing on the wing a little bit more. Compared on our formation, we don't need that. We need him in the middle in our box. We know ready to receive balls and just head him in or knock him in.
I mean, back to Kean Harrott, he scored a cracking goal at Wembley.
Get him in the team then. Get him in the team.
I quite like Harrott. I know there's been a lot on X over the past couple of days about Harrott and Hannah. I quite like them, but everyone's obviously entitled to their own opinions, aren't they? I think we could utilise Harrott, contrary to some people's opinions. But 23, I think he plays. Off the top of my head, he plays
forward, and he plays.
That's it.
Hannah or Harrott.
Harrott.
He plays up forward where Mike Fondop plays, but he likes to move to the side where Stevens would usually play, alongside where Morris as well, and Hawks.
I think I'd like to see Harrott up front. Harrott up front, to be fair, because we're all moaning that we don't have enough with Fondop and Quigley. So why not utilise Harrott when we've got him?
I was just thinking, would it maybe a case of playing one of the big men, maybe Quigley, and then Harrott, who's probably a bit quicker off of him to get onto them flick-ons, and then you've got Fondop to come from the bench. But I can see why Fondop is starting, because obviously he scored 16, 17 goals last season. If he doesn't score them goals, you probably don't get promoted, so it'd be tough on him as well. But so it does show there are options. Other options will come, hopefully, in the form of the remaining 5 or 6 days in the transfer window. Callum, what do you need in terms of signings? How many and in what position?
We've done pretty well this transfer window. I'm quite happy with the amount of signings we've done, but you can see the obvious gaps. We need another attacker, in my opinion. But we also didn't think that Stevens would get injured this early on. What's leaving a massive gap, because we're leaving Kane Drummond, who's doing it week in, week out, and you can tell he's getting tired, and you can just tell he's not as skilled as some of the other players. But there's room for improvement there, though. But I'd like to see another attacker, and maybe just another defender, because we have some youngsters, and we have that Loney from Blackburn we just got. But I'd like just another old lad over 30, just for another experience to teach young'uns.
Okay, fair enough. And Stevens, just looking at his stats from last season, Kerry, that is a massive blow losing him, because he was very good for Solihull, 12 goals and 4 assists in the National League last season. So to lose that, have they said how long he's out for, or?
November. It was released on X, I think, yesterday. So that was a big blow, which does leave us just sort of Fondop, Quigley, and Harrott if we utilise Harrott up front. So I think I'd like to see another striker, to be fair. I think that would strengthen us. And it would also, I suppose, in this instance where we've lost Stevens, we're now only sort of really left with Quigley and Fondop up front, if we're not going to utilise Harrott in that position. So I'd second what Callum's saying. I'd like to see another striker, maybe. Who? I don't know. I've not really sort of had a look at the transfer window. But maybe someone around Stevens' size, like you said, a little bit smaller. So we've got Quigley and we've got Fondop, who are big blokes, who, especially for the headers when the corners are coming through in set pieces, is quite nice. But someone just a little bit quicker to manoeuvre the ball and utilise the opportunities that we are producing. We're just not utilising.
Fair enough. who's been good this season? I'm going to sort of just put it out there to both of you. You can answer based on the Fleetwood game, Kerry, and then Callum can come in and base it on what games he's seen. Who should be the players that Gills maybe have to look out for at the weekend that's impressed so far in the early stages?
Ryan Woods. Not that we sponsor him, obviously, but I think he's been good. He's got the experience. He's good around the pitch. He's not afraid to challenge. He's good on the ball. Yeah, I do like Woods. I would say Pet as well if he was with us. I do like Pet as well. But again, taking all the players here, when Conlon gets on the ball, he's quite nice. He manoeuvres it. He gets it across. He gets it to where it needs to go. What about you, Callum? Maybe who do you think?
I'm going to go with Woods as well. He's just been a really good play for me. It reminds me of our Corey Evans last season. Very calm on the ball. He doesn't. He takes his time. Like the saying goes, experience buys time. He puts in a good challenge every so often. Like he's putting a good slide in, and he just finds the ball. He just finds it wherever he can, and he just passes it. And 9 times out of 10, it does lead to an attacking scenario.
Interesting to see how it matches up then, because if we play Bradley Dack, they could be in direct combat there, and obviously Bradley Dack, fully fit, wouldn't be playing for Gillingham. We know that he'd be playing Championship, or dare I say it, if he'd not had 2 ACL injuries, Premier League. But such is life, and you have to deal with the cards that you get dealt and all that type of thing. But yeah,
who do we have to watch out for?
Josh Andrews has been really good. Since, I mean, we signed him January 2024 and he's barely played. He was bought injured. Then he came and scored a goal against Barrow, end of that 23-24 season. Then he got injured again. We barely saw him at all last season. Ainsworth got him on final day against Port Vale. We're at the point similar to with Bradley Dack now, where they both trust in their bodies again. And he's been immense so far, Josh Andrews. He's an absolute unit. I mean, Quigley and Fondop are big. I'd like to see this lad stand next to him. And then we've got Sam Vokes coming off the bench at the moment as well. Bradley Dack, if you can get him on the ball. But obviously, it all depends on what type of game it becomes. If it becomes a direct game and a long ball game, then it'll be probably a battle of your centre halves and Josh Andrews and Elliot Nevitt and similar with our centre backs and Fondop and Quigley. But I think it's fair to say that both sides have got good players. It's just how the game pans out on the afternoon, isn't it? But it's certainly going to be an intriguing battle. Kerry, before we get to recent meetings, or not quite recent meetings, we've not played each other for a while. I just want you to tell us about your role in terms of her game too in the club at Oldham Athletic, if you can.
Yeah, so I'm just part of a team. So I'm the advocate, one of the advocates. Alison is our ambassador. Mm-hmm. Sadly, she can't be with us today. She's holidaying. And so, yeah, as everyone knows, her game too is around equality within football, eradicating sexism in football. Not going to harp on about it. Everyone knows what her game too is for and what stands, what we're trying to do. I suppose on a wider scale, I know there's lots going on that I obviously can't fully share at this moment, but within Boundary Park we've got a fantastic team. Alison, obviously, who's our ambassador, and our team of advocates, which is amazing. We've also got Abby Rogers, who is part of the women's team. I think she's the captain for the women's team actually, and she's part of our team as well, which is really good. She's a great advocate for obviously the women's football, as is Alison. What we've achieved has been great in Boundary Park over the last couple of seasons. So we've managed to get free sanitary products for all of the women in Boundary Park. So all of the toilets are stocked every season. And they've been kindly donated by local, businesses like Co-op, which has been fantastic. Last year, we managed to do a girls' darts night in, which again was really widely received well. Lots of attendance, which has been really nice. And we've got lots planned this year. One of them, which is how we met Matt, which is every home game we do try and interview an away female fan, and it's been lucky enough that it's been your daughter that we've done it for this on our meeting this Saturday, which is really nice. And it's to get a feel of why girls are in football. Like Ava comes with you, doesn't she, to the football and bits and pieces, and it's just getting to know our away fans and sort of participation and things like that. Also a bit of banter, what's the score prediction going to be? We do try and meet everybody before the games for pictures and stuff like that. And it's a bit of interaction as well. with the Her Game 2 girls, and obviously our away fans, really building up those networks and promoting obviously football. You know, we all like football, we all go there because we enjoy it and love the banter and stuff like that. So yeah, what I would say is keep an eye on our socials. We do often tweet, we do often, you know, repost. Obviously our blog will be going live on Saturday for everybody to have a look at. So yeah, it's a great cause to be a part of. We've got an absolutely fantastic team, which I couldn't ask to be a part of, with a better bunch of girls, to be really truthfully honest. We're friends both, you know, as Her Game 2 advocates, but also outside of football as well, which is really good. Yeah, love it. Do enjoy it.
That's good. Yeah, if you can send me the link to the Oldham Her Game 2 Twitter page, then I'll stick the link in the description and get people to try and follow that as well.
Yeah, we'll do. I'll send it all to you.
Excellent. Right, recent meetings. Well, not entirely recent. No meeting in the league since April 2018 because of Oldham's off-field issues, and then obviously subsequent relegation into the National League before bouncing back this past June. So last 10 games between the two sides since the start of 2013-14 reads 1 win for the Gills, 4 draws and 5 Oldham wins. And at Boundary Park, it's even better reading for the Latics. It's no Gillingham wins, 2 draws and 3 wins for the home side on Saturday. So Callum, you've sat there patiently letting your mum talk about Her Game 2. I'll come to you first with your score prediction.
Oh, I've got to do this one for my cousin. I'm going to do her 3-1 to Latics.
Kerry?
Oh, I'm going to go.
I've written mine down, so
I'm going to go 2-1 to Latics. I'm going to go 2-1. I think Gillingham... Yeah, and I think Gillingham will score the first goal. I'm not without a doubt, and I think then we'll equalise, and then we're gonna get a last minute goal, and it's going to bring us 2-1. That's going to be our first win of the season.
I've said 1-1.
Oh,
purely because of the fact that we're literally winning our home games and drawing our away games at the so far. We've drawn both our away games 1-1. We've won all our games at home. You're the draw specialist in the division at the moment. I can't see past a score draw. So obviously, same as you, I'm hoping that we can come up there and nick 3 points. It'd be a great start to the season, but I don't think a draw would be a disaster at this early stage. So fingers crossed we'll all still be talking at 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. or whatever ungodly hour I'll get back home. But big thank you to both of you. Really appreciate your time. It's been good fun, and it's it's not often we do 2 guests in one show, so I really appreciate it.
No, thank you for having us, and thank you for being part of our Her Game 2 blog.
No problem at all. A pleasure. Gills fans and Oldham fans, if you are still watching at this point, please consider hitting that like button. These match previews and review shows are going really well at the moment. So if you're a Gills fan or an Oldham fan, I'm going to target an ambitious 100 likes on this one. If you're down there, please press subscribe and consider hitting it, because it is great for the channel. It's free to do so. And if you hit that notification bell, you don't miss an episode. We do a League 2 show on a Monday night, myself and Lee from Around the Grounds, who I know Callum is a big fan of. So that's every Monday at 7 p.m. on YouTube. So come and join us for that. Of course, myself and Ava and Nick will be at Boundary Park on Saturday for a match day live. But until then, enjoy the rest of your week. And most importantly, up the Gills.